And next on News 10, as Ellen DeGeneres talks about coming out, some local women tell us the real story.
The daughter of mob boss John Gotti is in the capital region to sell her story.
You'll need the sunglasses this weekend and some unusual snow.
News 10 is next.
It's 11 o'clock. News 10 starts now.
Ellen's candid conversation about coming out in her life and on her sitcom generates new awareness about America's struggle with homosexuality. Good evening, everyone. I'm Angela Hampton.
And I'm Jim Brennan. For months now, comedian Ellen DeGeneres has been in the national spotlight, first with rumors, then with the admission that she is gay, and so is the character she plays on TV. That admission has the gay and lesbian community cheering and foes of that lifestyle shaking their heads. You may have just seen DeGeneres' first TV interview since coming out. In her conversation with Diane Sawyer, she compared her situation with that of civil rights figure Rosa Parks.
And I'm sure everybody that was friends with her said, you know what, we think it's wrong, you're sitting back here too, but just don't make a big thing, because I can't even fathom having to get on the front of a bus and pay and get off and then get on in the back and sit in the back, and people think that's all right. I wasn't going to sit in the back of the bus anymore. I belong with everybody else. And that's what I finally did.
Ellen's struggle with how her friends and her public would accept her homosexuality mirrors what many people go through.
Tonight, Dan Levy spoke with members of the local gay and lesbian community, and he reports to you from Albany about the difficulties of coming out.
At the O-Bar on Albany's trendy Lark Street, young women and young men mingle. They come to unwind after a tough day at work. They share stories and laughs and their life experiences. The most common life experience they share is that they're gay. And so in their own unique way, they understand the difficult decision that Ellen DeGeneres made.
I lost my brother and my sister-in-law. They don't talk to me anymore. But I don't care. We were very close, but we don't speak anymore. So.
Ben of Sonocal came out of the closet 6 years ago. Despite losing his brother, he says he's happy with the way his life is going. Lisa Jeffers has had strong family support ever since coming out 9 years ago.
It's been okay. It's been a positive thing for me. I think that Ellen would have I don't know. I think she would regret it more by not taking advantage of the opportunity that she has to come out and speak, publicly about it.
Speaking about it publicly is something many people obviously will always have trouble with.
Yes, there will be a day that I come out. I'm hoping that it'll come very soon because it's a matter of freedom. The other piece of this is coming out as a personal choice. Do I feel as though Ellen's coming out in a celebrity status is going to help me personally? It's not going to help me personally, but it's certainly going to help the cause of the gay community as a whole.
Gays and lesbians will tell you there are probably just as many reasons to come out of the closet as there are reasons not to come out of the closet. But for those who choose to come out, the number one reason seems to be because it builds self-esteem.
Absolutely. There's no question. Absolutely. Because you can be all of yourself. Not that you have to flaunt it, but you can be all of you without protecting that portion of your life that is the secret.
I encountered no one tonight who thought the Ellen phenomenon was a negative thing. Now, even though most people seem to think that Americans have become more tolerant of gays and gay lifestyles in recent years, the feeling I got tonight was that gays and lesbians believe they will probably never be totally embraced by society, Jim.
You know, Dan, obviously a lot of people are looking at the television show now and see how the viewing audience reacts to that. I have to believe if the show stays funny, people will probably continue to watch it regardless of what the politics of the people involved is.
I think that's probably true, Jim, and many of the people I spoke with point out that All in the Family and Maude and more recently Murphy Brown have broken ground in TV, and some of the social issues that they've dealt with now are just second nature, and the people think that this gay and lesbian issue will probably or might become second nature to most people 10, 15, 20 years from now.
Well, there is more to come, as you know, and we want to remind all of you about a special we'll be doing next week right here on ABC 10.
Yeah, I'm going to take an in-depth look at whether TV viewers are ready for a gay TV lead character on a primetime show. That's next week on News 10 at 5:30 on Wednesday.
And of course, that's the day the much anticipated Ellen Coming Out episode airs. Right here on ABC 10. It'll be at 9 o'clock that night next Wednesday.
Well, thousands of people packed the Pepsi Arena tonight to watch a growing phenomenon. Lord of the Dance kicked off the first of 2 shows in Albany tonight. It's a combination of Irish music and folk dance. The star of the troupe is Michael Flatley, who used to be with a similar group called Riverdance. Tomorrow's show is at 8 o'clock. The daughter of mob boss John Gotti also making a stop in the capital region tonight. Victoria Gotti signed autographs for her new book, The Senator's Daughter, at the Book House in Stuyvesant Plaza. Gotti's book comes out at the same time as mobster Sammy the Bull's book. She would not answer any questions about Sammy Gravano or her father, but did say her book is not based on her personal life.
It's about a very controversial case in Boston that's assigned to a young a young defense attorney, and a lot of secrets from her past resurface and come back to haunt her.
Gotti says the reason she won't talk about her father's past is because his case is in appeal right now, and she doesn't want to do anything to jeopardize it. The wife of a state trooper, a police officer, still in the stable but serious condition tonight after her husband allegedly beat her. Trooper Willie Parker, who works out of the Wilton Barracks, is out of jail on $5,000 bail tonight. He's charged with felony second-degree assault. Investigators say they found Mrs. Parker in her home severely beaten. She had to go through surgery for a ruptured spleen. Trooper Parker has been suspended without pay.
A North Carolina judge has handed the Food and Drug Administration a major victory in the tobacco war. The tobacco industry will appeal the landmark ruling that lets the government regulate tobacco as a drug. Former FDA Commissioner David Kessler calls the decision historic.
This is historic. Vending machines, mail order, access. The judge kept all those restrictions in place. It is a very, very important decision.
This is the single most devastating loss the tobacco industry has ever suffered in the courts of the United States.
And if that decision holds up during appeals in other courts, the federal government will have control over a product that kills nearly 400,000 Americans every year. Now, the FDA did lose a key component of its rules. The judge said it has no right to limit tobacco advertising that appeals to kids. There were many tears today at the Oklahoma City bombing trial in Denver. Jurors, even prosecutors, cried after 9 bombing survivors described the day that federal building blew up in Oklahoma City. Jurors heard the sounds of when the bomb first went off.
Everybody, let's get out of here. Now, what's the electricity line? What's the light? What's the light?
Defendant Timothy McVeigh showed no emotion.
After weeks of searching, the Air Force has found what it feared it would, the remains of missing pilot Captain Craig Button. Searchers found his body in the wrecked cockpit of his A-10 Thunderbolt, which had crashed in the Colorado Rockies. The A-10 disappeared from a training mission over Arizona April 2nd. No word yet on what led to the crash. Well, at long last, the weekend almost here, and it looks like we've got a great weather on tap for it. Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo has your first look at the forecast. Steve?
Angela, thank you very much. If you got plans outdoors this weekend, Mother Nature is going to be cooperating for us. In fact, very comfortable. Back to some more normal late April weather. In fact, tomorrow morning, partly cloudy and about 38 degrees, sun up just before 6 a.m. And by noontime, a little more sun than we had today, so it's going to be a better day. 54, partly sunny, and late afternoon temperatures in the upper 50s to near 60. It may be a little bit breezy at times tomorrow with a sunset at 10 before 8. Much more on the weekend forecast, and we'll show you an unusual snowstorm in parts of Texas in about 10 minutes. Back to you.
Okay, Steve, and stay right where you are. Still ahead, a woman you may remember from your childhood passes away.
Plus, an internationally recognized professor from the University at Albany has died.
And are you paying more for the drink because you're getting a deal on the burger?
And the Bulls begin defense of their NBA title and a little more than they expected from the Bullets.
Live, Jim Brennan, Angela Hampton, Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo, Sports Director Dan Murphy. News 10 at 11 will continue.
We report to you.
News 10 is brought to you by your local Chrysler Plymouth dealer.
Troy police aren't saying what sparked a riot outside the Terra Luna bar on 3rd Street early this morning, but witnesses say it was started by a few women, possibly over a man. 8 people were arrested, and Troy police officers had to call neighboring police agencies for some help. One person was slashed in the neck, several others sent to hospitals for minor injuries.
And looks like the biggest price cut in fast food history, a McDonald's Big Mac for just 55 cents. But it seems some franchise stores are raising prices on other items to make up the difference. Andy Field reports to you.
The signs are grabbing customers. Just 55 cents for a sandwich that normally costs nearly 3 times more.
I was going to go to Kentucky Fried first, you know,
And then what happened?
then I saw the sign, you know, that said 55, and I said, you can't beat it. That's why we brought them.
But that 55-cent deal isn't as good as it looks at many McDonald's franchises. The Wall Street Journal surveyed stores in every state and found that 1 out of every 4 stores were raising prices on fries or soft drinks that you must buy to get the 55-cent deal. This is something McDonald's discouraged local owners from doing, but it appears some are doing it anyway. Customer reaction?
They shouldn't trick you like that. If it's a deal, they should give you a deal. You're not going to get something for nothing. They got to make their money, and they're going to make it some way.
I honestly didn't even know that they had a deal going on. I just wanted to go to McDonald's.
McDonald's spokesman says they can't legally stop local stores from raising some prices to offset the historic 55-cent a sandwich deal, but they don't encourage them to do that. This low-cost meal started during breakfast to stop customers from switching to its competitor, Burger King. And although Big Macs are now all 55 cents, prices for fries and drinks vary from city to city. No matter what the savings, this is still a very popular sandwich. Andy Field for ABC News, Washington.
Albany professor and internationally recognized scientist Bernard Vonnegut has died. The 82-year-old held more than 24 patents for his work on the nature of thunderstorms. He passed away today at St. Peter's Hospice in Albany. He's the brother of well-known writer Kurt Vonnegut.
A woman from a television program many of us remember from our childhood has also passed away. Nancy Claster, or Miss Nancy, was the first host of the original Romper Room children's show in the 50s and early 60s. She read nursery rhymes and closed each show by looking into her magic mirror. Claster died in Baltimore of cancer today. She was 82. The show was such a hit when it hit the air that local Romper Room programs sprang up in 150 stations nationwide, including right here on TV 10. A district attorney in Massachusetts will conduct a preliminary review of reports that Michael Kennedy had an affair with a 14-year-old girl. According to today's Boston Globe, the son of the late Senator Robert Kennedy became involved with his children's babysitter. The report says the girl, who is now 19, ended the relationship last year when she went off to college. The district attorney's review will not necessarily lead to a full investigation. Michael Kennedy has had no comment on the report. Just last week, he revealed he's separating from his wife, the daughter of Frank Gifford.
A lot of speculation in Massachusetts tonight about who will succeed Republican Governor William Weld if he becomes the U.S. ambassador to Mexico. The White House says Governor Weld is President Clinton's likely choice to be the next Mexican ambassador, and Weld says he's honored. An announcement will probably come next month. Meantime, New York Governor George Pataki is headed west this weekend. He'll be raising money in California for his re-election campaign. Pataki is slated to attend fundraisers hosted by fellow Republican California Governor Pete Wilson. On Wall Street, stocks headed south today as investors grew nervous about next week's big batch of economic numbers and whether they'll persuade the Fed to raise interest rates. The Dow Jones Industrial Average fell about 53 points to close just under 67.39. The Nasdaq Composite lost almost 19 points.
Coming up, Chief Meteorologist Steve Caporizzo with your exclusive Doppler weather forecast.
We are looking forward to a real nice weekend around here, but not everybody in the country is.
You're not kidding. Places where it's not supposed to be snow. Well, speaking of snow, you know, it was a week ago tonight we had the snowstorm in parts of this area.
Trying to forget, but thanks for bringing it up.
Well, let's show you who's got the snow tonight. This is earlier this morning in northern Texas, Amarillo, Texas in particular, where they had up to 8 inches of snow around the city, and some of the high spots picked up close to a foot of snow in West Texas and the mountains of New Mexico. I might mention they were snowing at the same time. It was 80 85 to 90 in extreme southern Texas with severe thunderstorms and some tornadoes. Texas is a big state with big weather changes from north to south. No snow for us this weekend. Great weather, in fact. Temperatures finally getting back to normal with more in the way of sunshine. Let's check in the Albany County Airport tonight. Partly cloudy and 48, humidity 66%. The barometer steady, the winds are calm. We had a few sprinkles today. High temperature this afternoon, a little bit below normal at 58, the low at 42, the record high. 86 and 1915, and the record low temperature 23 dates back to 1965. Let's show you the view from space. And this is our satellite vantage point, and you'll notice that the clouds are tending to break up over us now. The clouds had the upper hand this afternoon, and with the daytime heating ending, we see the clouds breaking up. Some breaks in the clouds, but still some showers. In fact, News 10 Doppler radar is picking up a few sprinkles in some locations. Scattered activity, nothing all that organized, but you can see them continuing here in the northeast, and these will continue to dwindle tonight. All right, let's show you the temperatures. At 11 o'clock, they are running in the 40s to near 50 from Albany westward. A little bit cooler up at Glens Falls, a little bit warmer as you head down towards New York City, where we have a temperature reading of 56. News 10 weather watchers reporting in tonight. Greenville 39, Clifton Park 46, Zachary up there in Corinth 39, Root, Montgomery County 48. Newcomb 37, still some snow out in the backwoods up in Newcomb. It's 40 in Rutland, 38 in Greenwich, and 41 right now in western Massachusetts in the city of Pittsfield. Big storm in the southwest. This is the one that produced the snow in North Texas, now producing violent weather along the Gulf Coast. And some of that moisture is going to work its way northward later this weekend, especially on Monday. Here are the violent thunderstorms, Louisiana, east of Houston. Many reports of damaging winds and some large hail during this evening. And probably again tomorrow they're going to have some heavy-duty thunderstorms. Now, our weather map for Saturday will feature a big high coming in finally. Now, it's still going to be a little bit unstable tomorrow, so that means during the afternoon a lot of those puffy cumulus clouds developing. A little bit breezy, but temperatures upper 50s to near 60. And Sunday will start out absolutely beautiful with a lot of sunshine. Then as the day goes on, these clouds increasing, especially late in the day, and then by evening some rain out in western New York. That will be here probably around midnight Sunday night. Bottom line is no washouts this weekend and absolutely no chance, 0% chance of snow. Forecast looks like this for the overnight period. Partly cloudy, chance of some sprinkles, 33 to 38. And tomorrow, partly sunny, 55 to 60, a little bit breezy at times. Tomorrow night, clear, chilly, 30 to 36, some frost around. And for Sunday, morning sunshine, followed by afternoon clouds, 60 to 65. Vermont and the Berkshires, a few sprinkles. That's it, partly cloudy, 30 to 35. And tomorrow, partly sunny, 53 to 58. And here's your 5-day forecast. Rain coming in late Sunday, continuing into Monday, a cold rain about 50. Tuesday breezy with some sun, and 58, and Wednesday should be mostly sunny and temperatures in the mid-60s. Good weather to do some yard work, play baseball, softball, whatever you want to do.
Beautiful.
I think I'll figure it out when I get there.
All right, Jim, we'll make a list for you.
Okay,
See you later.
Well, the surprising New York Rangers were looking to advance to round 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
And the Cats are back on the prowl. Murph has everything from a busy night in sports when we come back.
Next, News 10 Sports with Dan Murphy.
Pro sports is a game for young men. New York Rangers are trying to win with some old men.
And they're winning.
And doing a pretty good job so far.
A very good job. Just the fact that they won this series, not a major surprise. The fact they've done it so quickly is shocking to me. If you expected them to be in this position, Rangers with a chance to eliminate the Florida Panthers in 5 games with a win tonight in Miami. Second period game tied at 1. Mark Messier with the wrister, his second goal of the night, 2-1 New York after 2. But midway through the third, Panthers on the power play. Ray Shepard, watch this, the bank shot off Brian Leach, past Mike Richter, ties the game at 2. We go to overtime, where Esa Tikkanen is the overtime hero for the second time in this series. Rangers win 3-2. They win the series 4-1. Meantime, in Buffalo, Game 5, Sabres-Senators. Late first period, Senators on the attack. Sean McEachern with his first goal of the playoffs, 1-0 Ottawa. Second period, Daniel Alfredsson, the Game 4 hero, strikes again. Ottawa goes on to the 4-1 win. Talk about shocking. They can now eliminate the favored Sabres with a win on Sunday. Scoreboard out west, Detroit beat St. Louis 5-2. Wings lead that series now 3-2, and Edmonton and Dallas have gone into overtime scoreless. That series is tied at 2. Meantime, the Albany River Rats announcing today that games 3 and 4, their upcoming series with Rochester, the 2 guaranteed games at the Pepsi Arena, will be next Sunday, a week from this Sunday, and the following Wednesday. Tickets already on.